Where can you travel with 5,000 pesos? So there's a province in the Philippines called Eastern Samar, and we asked ourselves, what can we do here? Little did we know, we can do this. From uncrowded beaches to huge rock formations to secret caves and natural cave pools, it's time to witness the hidden gems of Eastern Samar before it gets flooded with crowds. In this video, we show you the best places to visit, the best things to do, and the best way to get there, all under 5,000 pesos. So let's go. Hi guys, my name is Angelica Wanders and this is Eileen Wanders, and we create budget travel guides all around the Philippines. On this channel, we show you our easy to follow itineraries and also our costs and expenses in every trip. So if you want to travel around the Philippines in the easiest and most affordable way possible, then hit that like button and hit that subscribe button because we make videos just for you. Stick until the end of this video because we give you our ultimate 3-day sample itinerary and a cost breakdown, so you can get an idea of how much an Eastern Samar trip would cost. And without further ado, let's explore Eastern Samar. First off, let's talk about how to get there. In this travel guide, we'll be taking you around the beautiful town of Hernani, along with a quick side trip to Guiuan. So here's how to get to Hernani in just 3 steps. Step 1. Flight to Tacloban City from Manila. Regular fares to Tacloban can range around 5,000 to 8,000 pesos round trip. But if you snag a Piso sale, it only costs around 1,800 pesos round trip. Step 2. From the airport, just take a 25-minute tricycle ride to the Abukay bus terminal, which costs about 250 pesos one way. And lastly, Step 3. From the terminal, just hop onto a van or a bus bound for Borongan City and inform the driver that you're headed to the town of Hernani. Buses to Hernani cost 230 pesos one way, and they will drop you off at the appropriate stop along the way. The travel time would take around 3 to 4 hours, and before you know it, you'll make it to the beautiful town of Hernani, Eastern Samar. This leads us to our next question. Where is the best place to stay in Hernani? Well, this was the tricky part. Surprisingly, there were literally no Hernani hotels on the Agoda and booking apps. It's kind of crazy because such a beautiful destination like this was still lacking its digital presence. Thankfully, we found a place on Facebook called La Leona Homestay, and it was perfect because it was just along the main highway. So we told our bus driver to drop us off right in front of it. La Leona Homestay is a humble family-run business with a very homey vibe. Our room, which was actually good for 4 packs, cost us 1,250 pesos per night. It was super clean, super spacious, and the family who hosted us was super accommodating. Plus, it had air conditioning, so 11 out of 10 for that. We highly recommend this place, not because it was the only one we found, but because seriously, this was just the sweetest family ever and guaranteed you will be taken care of here. And now, it's time to witness what this beautiful province is known for. What are the best things to do in Eastern Samar, and how much will it cost? Well, as I mentioned earlier, we visited 2 towns in Eastern Samar, Hernani and Guiuan. And in this video, we'll take you to 5 of their coolest spots, so you can see why this province is worth visiting. And make sure you watch until the end to see our entire cost breakdown. Plus, we'll also give you our tour contact numbers so it can help you plan your own trip easily. So let's begin. First up, since we're already in Hernani, let's explore this beautiful town first. And the best way to get around is by hiring a tricycle for the day. Our accommodation, La Leona Homestay, offered us a half-day tricycle tour for only 500 pesos. And this was already good for the both of us. Our tour guide for the day was Daniel, who's actually part of their family and the great-grandchild of Lola Leona herself. So for our first stop, Daniel brought us to the Ginduyanan Cove, which is truly what you call a hidden gem. There aren't a lot of articles or blogs about this place, and to be honest, it was actually really hard to research how to get here. But thankfully, Daniel knew his way around and guided us safely to this hidden paradise. This stunning spot features a unique natural arch that forms a picturesque cove, surrounded by lush greenery and dramatic rock formations. This cove was seriously an amazing sight, making it the perfect place for a photo shoot. Just be careful not to walk too far towards the open water while taking your OOTDs, as the waves in the background can be quite strong at times. Guiuan Cove kind of reminded me of Broken Beach in Bali, which has a similar cove and a similar arch. I'm so happy we have a place like this in our own beautiful country. But the difference between the two coves is that Guiuan remains untouched by commercial tourism, making it ideal for those looking for uncrowded tourist spots. By the way, this cove is completely free to visit with no entrance fee. And in order to get here, you need to take a quick 10 to 15 minute walk from the main road through the lush forests and rocky paths. It's best to wear shoes as the area nearing the cove can get very, very rocky, to a point where we literally have to climb down a little bit. And of course, I came unprepared with my slippers. But it's a good thing that we're quite amazing at balancing. Jokes aside, if you're not careful, you might get a few scrapes here and there. So while this place might not be senior friendly, it's definitely the perfect place for adventurers seeking a challenge. But I'm telling you, once you arrive, it's definitely worth the effort. You know what they say, the most beautiful places are the most difficult to get to. Now, on to the next stop. Welcome to the Canhugas Nature Park. This is a top tourist spot in Eastern Samar, known for its breathtaking natural scenery, including a sandy beach, rocky cliffs, a cave, and crystal clear water perfect for swimming. With an affordable entrance fee of only 20 pesos, the park offers plenty of activities such as swimming, snorkeling, kayaking, and picnicking. Unlike Guiuan Cove, you don't need to take a 15-minute trek or climb down some rocky paths just to get here. Just a quick tricycle ride brings you right to the entrance of the park. This park is more developed and family-friendly, with lots of rentable cottages for picnics and various scenic spots for photos. Seriously, you'll never run out of photoshoot opportunities here at Canhugas Nature Park. But since there are a lot of rock formations, just make sure you visit on a sunny day and during low tide to avoid dangerous rocky conditions. But you can have a little peace of mind because Canhugas also has friendly and supportive lifeguards who ensure the visitors' safety and well-being. Canhugas Nature Park is an excellent choice for a day trip with the family to experience the unique beauty of Eastern Samar. There are a couple of other white sand beaches around Hernani, so maybe if you have a little more time to explore, you can definitely visit these underrated destinations. Now, after exploring Hernani, it's time to move on to the beautiful town of Guiuan. Imagine a town with uncrowded surf spots and crystal clear cave pools. Yep, that's Guiuan, Eastern Samar, the ultimate destination for surfers and explorers. This town is actually a 1.5-hour ride away from Hernani, but don't worry, we'll teach you how to get there. So from La Leona Homestay, just wait along the main highway and hitch a commuter van bound for Guiuan. This ride will cost you 150 pesos one way, and after a 1.5-hour ride, you'll arrive at the Guiuan van terminal. From there, just take a quick tricycle ride to the Guiuan Tourism Office, where you can meet their Tourism Operations Officer, Miss Janet, who can help you plan your itinerary and suggest a ton of cool places to visit. She can also assign a tricycle driver to tour you around town, but if you want to contact our tour guide directly, you can just call Kuya Lito right here. A day tour costs 1,000 pesos, and this was already good for the both of us. But since we're here for only a few hours, we chose to visit 3 of their main destinations, and I can't wait to take you to all of them. So let's not beat around the bush and move on to our first stop of the day. And guys, just look at this. Welcome to the Linao Cave, a stunning hidden gem that offers a breathtaking underground experience. The name Linao comes from the Waray-Waray word meaning clear in English, which perfectly describes the crystal clear water inside the cave. Here you can take a refreshing dip in the cold natural pool while admiring the ancient stalagmites and stalactites formed over thousands of years. To get here, you'll first need to log in to their guest record book at the starting point and pay an entrance fee of 25 pesos per head. A local tour guide will be assigned to you, and his service fee costs 300 pesos for our small group of 2. He will then lead you on a 10 to 15 minute walk through lush forests and towards the cave entrance. Now, this is where the challenge begins. The cave is dark and rocky, but your guide will have a flashlight to help you navigate your way through. I suggest wearing sturdy shoes as the path can get very slippery, and it's best to bring a dry bag because there's a 99.9% chance you're gonna get wet even if you don't intend to swim. I mean, there are some underground platforms to walk on, some ropes to hold, and some rocks to cling onto for dear life. It felt like a literal obstacle course, so it could be quite a struggle for kids and elders. But the moment you catch sight of the crystal clear natural swimming pool inside, it will leave you speechless. The water is so clear that you could see the cave floor right below you. But don't be fooled. The pool is pretty deep, so it's better to bring a life jacket if you're not a good swimmer. Don't worry, there are life vests available for rent at the jump-off point before you start your trek. Also, just a tip, it's best to visit the cave in the morning because it can get very dark in the late afternoon. And if you're lucky, you might be able to witness the rays of sunlight touching the water. It just looks so magical. Now, on to the next stop. Honestly, we had no idea that this place even existed. But when Miss Janet from the tourism office suggested that we check out the Sulangan Mangrove Eco Park, we were actually really surprised. This hidden gem turned out to be incredibly Instagrammable, with swings, cute net beds, outdoor couches, tribal pillows, and clear waters right beneath you. This place also has an in-house restaurant where you can order some snacks and beverages to enjoy the view with. Since this is a mangrove eco park, the main attraction is of course the mangroves itself, which you need to walk through in order to reach this charming wooden house above the water. We decided to order some mango shakes to drink with the view, and trust me, a fruit shake with that tropical backdrop is a total vibe. This place is also family friendly, perfect for kids and elders who want to take a dip in its calm waters. But for the Gen Zs or millennials like us, it's the perfect spot to chill by the couches and snap some of those OOTDs. With an entrance fee of only 30 pesos, the Sulangan Mangrove Eco Park is the best place to sit back, unwind, and enjoy a magnificent view with an ice-cold drink. Now for our last stop of the day, let's make a quick side trip to the ABCD beach, which is labeled as the best surf spot in Guiuan. This public beach is completely free, and if you stay in Guiuan a little longer, you might just catch the incredible sunrise here. This is an undeveloped beach, very raw and natural, with no beachfront restos or fancy resorts. But its waves are perfect for surfers or anyone simply wanting to take a refreshing dip in its waters. Feel free to ask the tourism office to connect you with some surfboard rentals and lessons. But since we're not the best surfers out there, we chose to just enjoy the waves from a distance. The stunning scenery alone makes this beach well worth the visit. Okay, so by the end of your tours around Hernani and Guiuan, you might be starving. We almost forgot to mention, where is the best place to eat in Eastern Samar? Well, in Hernani, there aren't many restaurants in the area. However, La Leona Homestay gave us a convenient option where we can simply order food delivery from the Funhouse restaurant whenever we're feeling hungry. Upon check-in, Marianne provided us with a menu from the Funhouse for easy ordering. We could simply call the restaurant and they can deliver the food within 20 to 30 minutes with a fixed delivery fee of 30 pesos. The restaurant is just a call away, making it convenient for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. On our first day, we ordered fish tinola, baby back ribs, with some juices and rice. And in total, it amounted to 590 pesos plus 30 pesos for delivery. And on the second day, we ordered some lechon kawali and chicken salpicao, again with some rice and juice. And in total, it amounted to 540 pesos plus 30 for delivery again. The menu is pretty extensive, with options ranging from chicken, pork, seafood, and veggie dishes. So there are plenty of options to choose from. Additionally, since we stayed in a homestay, there's also the option to pay a 50 pesos fee to cook in their common kitchen. Perfect if you're in the mood for a home-cooked meal. So despite the fact that the restaurants are quite rare in the area, you wouldn't need to worry about going hungry if you decide to stay here. By the way, Hernani and Guiuan are just 2 out of the 22 towns in Eastern Samar. Unfortunately, we only had 3 days, so we could only explore these 2 places. That just gives us another reason to come back. But even with the limited time we had here, I hope these 5 amazing stops that we brought you to are enough to convince you to fall in love with Eastern Samar. And now, for the ultimate 3-day sample itinerary and budget breakdown. This costing includes our hotel, tours, food, entrance fees, and guide fees. This does not include our flight costs, as the prices of that can vary from season to season. Feel free to screenshot our breakdowns or save this video for future reference. So let's begin. For day 1, you could start the day by arriving in Tacloban around 6 a.m. Then at around 7, you can take a 30-minute tricycle ride from the airport to the Abukay bus terminal. You might want to grab a light breakfast before hopping onto the bus around 7:30. The ride to Hernani takes about 3 to 4 hours, and as I mentioned, our accommodation La Leona Homestay is located just along the main highway, so this is where we hopped off the bus. You'll probably arrive before noon, and at this time, you might be a little hungry, so you can order food delivery from the Funhouse restaurant. Guys, the food portions here are actually really big and good for sharing. We couldn't even finish our order, so we saved half of it for dinner later. Then at around 2 p.m., you can start your half-day tricycle tour with Daniel as your tour guide. The first stop could be the Guiuan Cove to see the stunning arch formation, and after you can head over to the Canhugas Nature Park for a refreshing dip. If you have a little more time, you can also visit Panglao Beach for a quick white sand stopover. Then after your mini tour, you can head back to La Leona Homestay at around 6 p.m. And at 7, you can order something new from the fun house again. The total estimated cost for day 1 would be 1,685 pesos per head. On day 2, this is the day we go to Guiuan. At 7 a.m., just wait along the main highway in front of La Leona Homestay and catch the commuter van to Guiuan. The intervals for the van are around 20 to 30 minutes. Then after a 1.5-hour ride, you'll make it to the Guiuan van terminal. Take a moment to grab a quick brunch and maybe some snacks for the tour. We picked up our favorite Andok's chicken sandwich and some bread from a nearby bake shop. From there, you can take a quick tricycle ride to the tourism office where Miss Janet can help assist with your itinerary. Or you can just book our tour guide directly and Kuya Lito can pick you up at the van terminal where you can start your tour. At around 9 or 10 a.m., you can begin your adventure with a visit to the stunning Linao Cave for a refreshing dip in its crystal clear waters. By noon, maybe head over to the Sulangan Mangrove Eco Park, where you can enjoy mango shakes with a tropical view. Then to wrap up the tour, you can drop by the ABCD beach at around 3 p.m., whether you're up for a quick surf sesh or you just want to relax by the beach. After the tour, have Kuya Lito drop you off at the Borongan van terminal around 4 p.m., where you can catch the van back to Hernani. The last van leaves at 4 p.m., so make sure you call Borongan Transit to reserve a slot a few days in advance. Here is their number right here. And after that 1.5-hour ride, you can hop off at the La Leona Homestay, and to end the day, you can order food delivery again from the Funhouse restaurant for dinner. The total estimated cost for day 2 would be 2,159 pesos per head. On day 3, this is the day we traveled back to Tacloban and fly back to Manila. So around 7 a.m., you can head over to the main highway in front of La Leona Homestay and hitch a commuter van bound for Tacloban. Again, this van will take around 3 to 4 hours. If you get hungry along the way, the driver will make a quick stopover where you can buy some snacks or bread. But we personally had our brunch the moment we arrived in Tacloban at around 10:30 a.m. From here, you can either stay in Tacloban for another night and explore some of the city highlights the next day, such as the MacArthur Landing, or visit the San Juanico Bridge at night. But for the sake of this 3-day sample itinerary, you can just grab a tricycle and go back to the airport for your flight back to Manila. The total estimated cost for day 3 would be 637 pesos per head. So if you add all of it together, the total estimated cost for a 3 days, 2 nights Eastern Samar trip would be 4,481 pesos per head. This is inclusive of hotel, food, transpo, and tours. Again, this is exclusive of flights, since this cost will depend if you score a Piso sale or not. But if you want some master tips and a step-by-step strategy on how to successfully book Piso sale flights, you can check out our tutorial vlog right here. On this channel, we teach you guys how to save money when traveling, how to make money when traveling, how to book cheap flights and cheap hotels. So if this travel guide helped you in any way, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below if you have any questions about Eastern Samar. We do our best to reply to every single comment, so don't be afraid to ask. Well, that's it for today. We hope you guys enjoyed this travel guide, and we hope you enjoy your trip to Eastern Samar. This is Angelica and Eileen Wanders. Never stop wandering.